Hey everybody, it's Bust with expedition number 205. Let's see what we run into here. Interesting little set. I think we'll just dive in on this Diana here. It's been within the past couple runs we've dove after Callista. It's a pretty reasonable card pool, starting off with a Mist Wraith as well. Not a real huge fan of this Battle Scars Braum. It's just I don't feel like there's a whole lot of payoff here, although starting with Avalanche is kind of neat. But this is a very fantastic Diana start. I really like this Diana card pool. There's a lot of power here, and then the Dustbringer Shadestalker is a great start, just kicking off with two of the real high value Nightfall units. So let's jump over to the site real quick. If you're not familiar, it's ftpbus.com. We're going to be over here on the Expedition Helper section. We're just going to scroll down to Diana. This one is Luminous Dusk, I believe. Right? Yeah, Luminous Dusk. This pairs up with Nocturne, and it's the Nightfall deck. And so the big thing that I like to point out here is specifically with Diana, this card pool is good at one thing, and that is playing very aggressive early game units, and it has some very good ones at that. And the one drop slot there is the Lunari Dustbringer, who we already have a hold of here, and then the Spacey Sketcher. This is quite powerful in that you can discard your extra Dusk Petals from the Dustbringer, the gems from things like Mountain Goat, and just get a little bit of extra value out of these generated cards. Oh, there's also Gift Giver up here in the one drop slot. I knew that there were 3 ones that were pretty spectacular. Over in the 2s, you have Diana herself, you have Lunari Shadestalker, and Mountain Goat. And then when it comes to our 3s, there is the what are we called? The Crescent Guardian, and I believe there was one more. Oh, the Priestess. How can we forget her? The best top end that we can run into. And so that's it. Like that, if you look at the majority of this pool, it is really heavily leaning towards these early game cards. There is just absolutely no top end unless you want to count Cygnus and Shards, which are epics. Stargazer, you can kind of do things with the gems, but that's kind of a reach, right? The real core of this card pool is this just gigantic glut of cheap and efficient aggressive units. Outside of that, there is no way to interact with what our opponent's trying to do. There's no removal spells. There is only the one combat trick in Pale Cascade. It is an extremely good combat trick, but this is it, right? Just aggressive units and the one combat trick. And so otherwise, what we need to be doing with this is this has to get paired up with something else aggressive so that we're just turning into this really ultra aggressive deck, or we need to pair this up with the other Shadow Isles so that we can try to get all of these Nightfalls going. So it's a very straightforward pool. I do kind of like the misfortune half of it a little bit more if that's what you're able to get. But the misfortune things play well. The what do we call it? Not fish bones, but the yeah, it is. Is it fish bones? It's been a while. It's the jagged Taskmaster style decks play with this extremely well as well. Okay, and what are we going to try to pair off with this? I'm not a huge fan of this Thresh. This Death's Door pool, it probably has Doom Beast in it, I don't remember. This does have a whole lot of removal spells in it. That's kind of the idea with Death's Door, is you have all of your removal spells with Thresh. There's a bunch of removal spells in Piltover. You're going to use those targeted removal spells to level up your Ezreal. That's the idea behind Death's Door. We can take a peek at it. I don't think we're going to want to dive in on this pool. But there is a lot of value that could be gained. I mean, Thresh is a way to interact with our opponent's units, and maybe a Nightfall in here. We'll have to look. But from these other ones, I don't want to be dealing with Disruption Yasuo. There's not going to be any stuns that we run across. There is some interaction here in Whimsy and Will of Ionia, but there's not a whole lot of cards that really play nice. I could get behind it if this was, say, like a Zed and we were going to try to go with elusives, but I don't think anything in Disruption particularly is going to work well. Double check. That's Vladimir. Where are you at, Yasuo? The big one that I wanted to actually come over here and take a peek at, because we can, it's like the more I think on it, it's like, well, we can do kind of interesting things with Inspired Mentor. We can get together a big collection of of elusive units. If we're going to get like Green Glade duos and then have like Inspired Mentor and Blade Scout, maybe get a Conspirator going, because there's also Conspirator also plays well with Nightfalls. But I'm not. Man, I think I might just be convincing myself to try out this Yasuo, because I'm convinced. Like, here's what I'm thinking here is I really want these kind of early game plays: Inspired Mentor, Conspirator, Blade Scout, and then the second kind of point is there's not a whole lot of interaction that we're going to be able to find, but we are pretty happy to pick up both Whimsy and Will of Ionia, which live over in the pack that we're about to take here. I was trying to think if we could maybe get this like Diana elusives kind of thing going, because I don't think we want to be playing with Twisted Fate. We're not going to have the payoff. Like it does work extremely well with Misfortune. She just loves having all of these early game units, giving them all boosts to the attack. But there's no payoff to this attack. This early game plays in Twisted Fate. Like we are just going to be in this one drop stack. If we're in the one drop stack where we're drawing cards with Pull Shark and Pilfered Goods, I really want to be focusing on Twisted Fate. And I think Diana is just quite a bit stronger than Twisted Fate, so I don't really want to be kind of like hamstringing ourselves just to play Twisted Fate just because we can do it. I try to think of which of these will really give us the most boost with Diana. Let me check out this Thresh real quick. I don't think this is where we want to be. Thresh Death Store, but I wanted to come over and see if any of the Nightfall cards lived over here. There's the Deadbloom Wanderer, which is not what we're looking for. There's Unspeakable Horror, and that's it. But I can kind of bring myself to take this. Like if we just don't take a whole lot of these removal spells. What were our cards with Thresh? Withering Wail, I do like to have one of in these style of decks because we tend to get a whole bunch of early game units in there, and attacking our opponent's going to get a better board than us and get some value blocks that we clean out with Withering Wail. But this is just such a fairly weak set of cards. But I guess this is where we're going to have to go, because the things that we'll be looking for out of Shadow Isles here are anything keyworded to Nightfall. We're going to look for one Vengeance, and then I wouldn't be opposed to taking something like Scuttlegeist, just some kind of top end that can come in and help close out these games. Not that I don't. There's just like so many cards in this pool that don't fit, but like given the way that these runs go, we should hopefully be able to pick up just like some Doom Beasts and some Fearsome Dogs throughout the course of the thing. We're certainly not building around this Thresh, and that is kind of the problem between all of these pools. Is this Twisted Fate we can pivot to and build around, but these other pools we cannot. Death's Door Thresh isn't a card pool. We're not going to get enough stuns or recalls without being in Noxus in this Yasuo. So I mean, it's fairly dangerous taking this Thresh, but I think we have to go with the Shadow Isles choice here. Okay, all of these picks are garbage. I think we just have to take another one drop with the Nightfall unit. Here, we don't want these Deadbloom Wanderers. We're way too aggressive to ever want this kind of ability. And I would actually love to pick up a Battle Fury here. I just don't think we're going to get a whole lot of value out of Freylord beyond this. There's just it's just like I just have in my head. It's like, okay, all right, we got a Shadestalker. Let's Battle Fury it, or we have the 5/3 Overwhelm Battle Fury it. Hell, you'd even Battle Fury Diana. But, man, I wonder, as the more I keep talking about this, the more I just want to go for it, because Wolfrider can play out reasonably with this style of deck. We're going to be ultra aggressive and pushing on this. Fuck it, YOLO, let's go for it. That's the right way to go about these, isn't it? You just say fuck it, YOLO. All right. So at any rate, I think I want to take the Priestess here. We'll probably come across more Unspeakable Horrors as the run goes along, but the two things that we're really going to struggle with here is our interaction. I don't really want Sunblessed Vigors. I'd rather these all be Pale Cascades, but we have to have some kind of combat trick in this style of deck, and then we want Lunari Priestess as our top end. We don't really want to be playing a whole lot of expensive units. We are okay with things like Scuttlegeist because it gets cheaper, but for our top end, we really want to be just like playing Lunari Priestess, getting her in combat, and then generating a 6 or an 8 or a 10 drop, and not actually playing expensive units in our deck. But always happy to pick up these priestesses, just so extremely good in Expedition. Okay, this is a very unexciting set of cards. I believe I want the Ibex along with the Starshaper. We do have lots of units that we're okay to give Overwhelm to, mainly Diana. Just extremely, extremely happy to pick up Overwhelm to be this quick strike challenging Overwhelmer, and these other cards aren't particularly good here. I really want to start trying to push our curve a bit down. This is a little bit more expensive, but again, we can't do anything with this Dead Bloom Wanderer. Don't want these Hapless Aristocrats. Don't really want Stargazer. At least both of these cards are pretty powerful. Especially the Star Shaping is another way to generate this top end that we want without actually playing expensive cards. Okay, we've gotten ourselves into quite the strange set of cards here. I believe we want the second Wolfrider. Like Ember Maiden does worry me as just something that's going to kill all of our own units. But Shatter and Fresh Offerings are just such terrible cards. I don't really want anything to do with those. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in on this Wolfrider. And now we really need to focus on just pushing our curve down. Things have to be much cheaper here. And as I say that, we're just going to take Solari Priestess. Not really looking to just be into like a mid-rangey style deck, but we can do it. We can pull this off. We have 3 invokes up to this point. I really had I had my mindset that we were just going to be this like ultra aggressive deck topping out at Battle Fury, and then things kind of changed from our initial impression of what we were going to do. But I think Priestess is just too good to pass up on. Okay, and these are the ones we're going to be looking for. I'm going to see if I'm going to be upset. In that previous pack, there was a Vengeance plus Dead Bloom Wanderer. We haven't actually, picked any removal spells. Just having Vengeance doesn't quite count. And I'm going to be passing up on Crumble here, because just the important things that we need to be doing here with our Bark Beast Crescent Guardian. We have to push this curve down. We're going to be try to be quite aggressive here, and hopefully we can fix this and trade into this as the run progresses. And again, another powerful set of just exactly what we're trying to do with these 2 1-drops. Okay, they continue. Solari Soldier, fantastic early game play. I don't really like Tayari, but it's serviceable for what we're trying to pull off here. Okay. And again, I'm okay with Sentry White Flame Protector. I'm to the point now. Our top end is good. If we see some kind of big epic, we'll be pretty cool with taking it. But we don't really need to be getting much more in the way of expensive cards between having Star Shaping, the 2 Priestesses. If we see another like Moondreamer or another Priestess or the burst one we passed it like a couple picks ago. Invoke, we'll be fine to pick up some more invokes, but I think our top end is good at this stage of the run. So here I'm just going to take the Sentry White Flame Protector. These are the best combat units here. I don't want a Stellacorn. Don't want these 2 kind of slower control-y style units. Okay, Behold the Infinite, that's the one I was talking about, but Faces the Old Ones is unplayable here. Both of these are unplayable as well. Sapling Toss is fine, Splinter Soul is unplayable, and I'm happy to pick up Stalking Shadows. I would love to have 2 or 3 of these if that's the way the run wants to play out here. Okay, how do we go about this? Definitely interested in Atrocity. That's a great way to close out these games. We don't have a lot of really good targets for it, though. It plays much better in like a Mistwraith deck or a deck with Tryndamere. Our units are all kind of small. We can get Diana up to 5 or 7 attack after she's flipped, which is pretty reasonable. I don't think Stargazer is going to be good here. Most of our units don't really survive combat, so I don't think we're going to get a lot of value out of this thing. I think we're cool to just go for more of this ramp. The Sketcher and the Wolfrider. And yes, we just did pass on another Vengeance. Kind of is what it is at this point. We'll maybe pick one up. You never know. But hopefully we'll see one in the trade pick since we're still in this Thresh card pool. And here, this is going to be our top end Infused Firebrand. I don't really want Weirding Stones, but none of these packs do anything else that we want to do. I don't like these Scribes and these decks that we're just jamming full of 1-drops. I don't want the Croccolith. We never have any payoff with this. And then again, we don't. They're trying to shove Soul Gorgers down our throats, and we still just don't want them. So I believe the Firebrand is the best piece of top end that we're going to come across out of this run. Oh, feel the rush. I immediately I saw the Infinite Mind Splitter, and I was like, okay, I don't really want a Nimber Maiden, and then they just jam a feel the rush at us. It's not a spectacular feel the rush, but um, just getting these champions like this is incredibly powerful. We can't pass on feel the rush. It's just a easy win. It's going to get us 2 or 3 wins throughout this run as long as we draw it. So super cool to pick that up. This field rush kind of bonkers. The last time we played the last time we had a field rush deck, it was like this weird, like Vladimir. I think it was like Vladimir, Trendemir, and Anivia or something. Some weird set of champions. It just didn't matter. It's so good to be like, what up? Here's 20 power on the board. How can you deal with this? But the big thing that I think we'll end up having to call out with it. I still never figured out how Feel the Rush actually works. If, say, we typically want to get into a deck here where we have 3 Dianas and a Thresh, not sure how it works if, say, we already have a Diana in play and play Feel the Rush. As far as, not having 2 Dianas in play, I don't think that's how it works. And so I typically want to branch out into a 3rd champion in these Feel the Rush decks. But we'll have to see how this plays out. Okay, and this not the best start of the world. I think I'm good to just get rid of Priestess as well. We could probably hang on to it. This Wolfrider is always awkward on the even or the odd attacks because we can't hit it until turn 5. So I think we're good to get rid of Priestess. Just look for a more aggressive draw. Okay, there's the Feel the Rush to be starting off with.
They forced us to choose death or the blade. It's our time.
Trundle Garen. Alright. Get our aggro on as best as we can.
Nothing escapes my watch.
Okay, then the thing we have to consider here is like how bad is it if he plays a 3/3? I don't think it's worth trying to spread some health out across these units. He's gonna have a 3/3 being into Demacia Freylord. Like head researcher, sure, it would have been the same thing. It would have killed off one of our units and he would have just gotten a value block. So here, I think we're good. I just want to bank all this mana. Not real intent on actually playing Tyari here. I don't feel like he's going to do anything. I just want to get White Flame Protector down and then get a big open attack in next turn. Try to level up a bit with Wolfrider.
We do what is right.
Okay, then we do have the big decision coming up here. Like, what do we do about this Garen? He's real close to flipping. I guess he made the decision for us. Okay. So I think we're probably just going to have to stall out and try to feel the rush. This is going to be just a bit much for us to deal with here in the early game. Unless we spike and obliterate off of our Priestess. Which she's very good at. Whatever that obliterate card is called. It might, we missed it. That's unfortunate. Let's just take Meteor Shower. We can try to spike 4 damage onto Garen. But it's not Meteor Shower. Whatever the 6 mana obliterating unit's what we were looking for.
You and I have met before, haven't we?
Alright, this is not ideal.
Charge! Follow the tracks. Look out for Reavers.
We probably just have to. Oh, we can probably take a hit from this thing. Let's just go full greed here. If he has a way to protect his Garen, we've probably already lost this game anyways. So I don't feel horrible about going ahead and trying to get the additional value down here. Okay.
Demacia will prevail.
Gotta sit here and count the turns we're away from from playing Field of Rush. Yeah, we got 3 turns to go after this one.
Bless the faithful and sear the heretics.
Not good. We're just getting domed
Time
here.
to get my hands dirty. Warriors in.
See if we can't find something.
Calm mind and open
We're just
heart
looking to
greet the night.
get dudes on board, and so I think this will be okay. With Ember Maiden, just gonna kill all of our own units. So I think we're looking to just add Tyari and then obliterate this thing.
One foot in front of the other.
And if we can survive his next attack, we can feel the rush. Let's go. Okay. Alright, we might be okay. Oh, really? I mean, I guess we were going to do the same thing to this guy, but let's see what is this. This is just one champion. Because we already killed his Garen and this is round 0. Fetches out Trundle. We can still survive this.
Fire knows its own.
I'll knock 'em dead.
We might be in a better spot after this than I'm giving ourselves credit for, since we can hook kill his Trundle with our Field of Rush.
Embers and smoke.
You were misguided.
Burn them all.
So close.
Mother
To play
Moon
this,
failed me.
then we gotta stop. gotta get these double hooks out of Field of Rush. Ours is way better than his, but hopefully we aren't too far behind to come back from this.
Forgive me.
Oh yeah, he's just doing nothing. Oh, you don't have? Why am I not Nightfall then? I should be Nightfall in here.
Night
Fuck.
descends.
I don't think so. We can just block this Trundle. Well, he's gonna have Overwhelm as soon as he pillars. I guess we can just block him with Diana at that point.
They look angry.
It's gonna harsh winds this. Yeah. Okay. Oof.
I will not abandon my beliefs.
I won't abandon my beliefs either. We got this, Diana. We just gotta recover a little bit. Let's see. And I would love to pick up this Harsh Winds, but I think we need to really just improve the direction that our deck is trying to take here and get rid of this Ember Maiden for the Shadestalker, right? If we want to stop and like really analyze like what our deck's doing, it's very similar to like the Nightfall control deck that we had in the previous run or 2 runs ago, whatever it was. We want to have this like ultra aggressive curve. We want to really be taking over the early game, and then things are going to start going our opponent's way, you know, around like turn 7 or turn 8. And at that point, we just want to close out the game with like one big expensive card. And that, whether or not that's, you know, Field of Rush coming down, Battle Fury on one of our elusives, or, you know, playing an Invoke into an 8 mana Overwhelm Spell Shield, like that's kind of our game plan, right? We're going to come down, we're going to crush our opponent to like 6 or 7 health, they're going to get a better board than us, and then we're going to close out the game with one expensive card. And you know, Ember Maiden just doesn't play to that. I do want Harsh Winds, but I think we need to get these, we need to get our deck in the right spot before we're just kind of upgrading to pure power level. Right. Like how this has come together. We just gotta push through. I'm curious, like the amount of time that we lose that first round of the draft. It seems like we do it all the time. It's just like it seems like our win percentage is like much worse in game one than it is in final battle. The old raiding party. Okay. Probably want to hold on to Priestess. And I just see this like Sejuani Gangplank in our deck with no removal. I kind of want to hang on to this dude to just help ensure that we can get a try to get that Obliterate card.
Night flowers upon my blade.
Nice top deck.
No more hiding.
My journey begins here and ends at the top.
This is kind of tough. Like if he doesn't play anything, I kind of want to open, but I also kind of want to Dusk Petal out this Crescent Guardian, and I think I'm okay with this because the idea here is again, like in that previous game, he's probably going to play a 3/3 for 3 here. See, it's exactly what happens, and this is going to be able to get a value block down here on Tayari. But the thing that makes us different is being able to turn this Crescent Guardian into a 5/5. I think I'm pretty okay with that happening. So he's going to take his value block down here on Tayari. We did draw Diana, which is just kind of the perfect draw, in that we should be able to hook kill this thing on our next turn. Or if he wants to get aggressive with this and we get 2 for 1 off of Dustbringer and Tayari, also kind of okay with that. You know, if you want to kind of, you know, think to that end goal we were building towards of, you know, we're gonna start crushing them on board. We're gonna attack them down to like 6 or 7, and then we're gonna get to you know, like round 7 or 8, they're gonna start taking over the board and being ahead of us, and we just need that one card to close. Cannot find you can't find the Obliterate. I don't think we ever just want to. Do we ever just want to draw Thresh? We're getting a board to where he's going to be pretty good, but we're not going to have any champions we can fetch out. I think we just want to take the Golden Sister for the elusive. Alright, he probably could play like a 4/5 for regenerate thing here. You can also Diana this thing down. This is a fairly scary play from this dude. He thinks this is good here.
Yours is the light I cherish, Moon Sister.
My spirit shines.
I think we're good to just hook this one down now.
Turn back. Face your heretic.
And if he wants to like flash freeze Diana, his blocks aren't that great. Like a troll chant would be, a troll chant shouldn't be a 2 for 1. It should be a like a 1 for 1.
I've bigger scars.
Okay.
Just another winter.
So Ember Maiden's going to drop him down to 4. And so we should be repping lethal out of this Golden Sister. Such a, I try to like go back and watch the videos and see how much like the music plays through. Like I kind of watch like the thing in OBS to try to determine how much like the music volume is in relation to my voice and stuff. I can't really determine if it's good or bad. People used to comment on it about it being bad, and they quit commenting, so I just assume it's adequate. that's the level of quality we shoot for on this channel, is adequate. But trying to get at this
Tonight, Barg.
What once was two.
Like background music for this snowy thing. It's pretty calming and relaxing.
We'll make
It's
quick
got me in a
work
good
of
mood
you.
over here the past few days.
Believe or burn.
Here, let's just drop this stuff. This Ember Maiden, I don't know why I didn't attack with, because it's just going to kill itself. And then we'll have these 2 units we should hopefully be able to close out the game with.
Feed my cat.
Don't leave!
Burn!
So it needs like Harsh Winds or 2 spells here.
It is time.
Okay. Good game, friend. Alright, and so we're in this spot. We don't have to do it now, where we pick up a champion. And I think I want to stick with this Diana here. I'm not like real keen on go hard in expedition. You're never gonna cast pack your bags. But this is a Diana with a Pale Cascade, which is pretty huge. I don't want to be taking multiple Threshes, and so the idea here is we're either going to take Diana or whatever our choice is down here. Trundle is a pretty reasonable choice, but I don't really want anything to do with those Voices of the Old Ones. I guess, to a degree, we could say like Voices of the Old Ones and Go Hard are kind of like almost equal levels of bad, right? We're never going to cast Voices of the Old Ones in this deck. It only has 1 card that can never hit, and well, I guess we can hit Feel the Rush. It has 2 cards we can hit, but I think it's going to be much easier to just like ping for 1 with this Go Hard as opposed to finding a place where we ever play Voices of the Old Ones profitably. And then, we don't care what the 3rd champion actually is. I would like ideally want it to be Tryndamere. But okay, if Trundle shows up again, that's fine. If Nocturne shows up, that's fine. I think that's kind of like the limits of what should be showing up here, right? We're seeing like otherworldly creatures. That was the Targon Freylord pairing. Should be seeing Luminous Dusk. That's the Diana Nocturne pairing, and so I don't think we'll see something like a Tryndamere or even like a Braum. It's probably just going to be Trundle or Nocturne that shows up. Okay, can't hang on to Feel the Rush, unfortunately. I think I'm good to get rid of Warden's Prey. I just don't want it here. We don't have any combos with it. And then should probably hang on to Stalking Shadows. It's good enough, I believe. I really want to be digging for like another 2-drop so we can be trying to play on curve. It is okay with these Nightfall decks if we
Confine and contain.
if we pass on 2 and bank 2 mana, because the strength of Stalking Shadows Pale Cascade is so big. But we really need like the 3-cost Nightfall to be going with it, which is fairly tough for us to do. And I'm going to just go ahead and get that stupid thing off board. We don't have anything else to have going on here, right? We're not going to save mana to try to Pale Cascade away that cheap unit. Okay, so let's pass. Let's get this bank going. Sure. And I think we're gonna have to Dusk Petal into the Guardian, and then try to keep the 2 mana for Pale Cascade. Too easy for him to play a 3/3 here. It's not appealing. It's too cutesy to be trying to play Bark Beast. We're rarely going to get anything out of it. Like this block is like, why are you going to just Mystic Shot our dude? Is that your end game here? Sure. Okay, clear up our hand. I want to see. I want to see if we got Spacey Sketchers here. I'm really interested in Cosmic Inspiration, but you have to behold the Celestial. So we need to see what our chances are of actually doing this are. So we got one Sketcher that's going to be real low. We got one Priestess, 2 Priestesses left. We got a Nightfall and a Daybreak. Yeah, I think we have to take a different card. Let's at least take Living Legends. We can play this on 7 if we need to. Yes, the electrostatic shock here is going to be fucking miserable, but we survived that far. Okay, well, I mean, if it comes down to it, I'm okay with... I'll show our cards here, but I'm fine to just put Crescent Guardian in front of this thing. He's got a trick, he's got a trick. This doesn't seem like a super strong play if he does. Doesn't have a trick. Sure. Okay, we can't be slamming into that thing when we have Pale Cascade in our hand. Right, that is not an appealing set of units. I guess we can see what kind of ramping we can do here. Let's take this Wolfrider. And be brutalized if he's got back-to-back here. Battle Fury. How bad is that? That's not the end of the world.
Reputation precedes us.
Oh, this Withering Wail's not going to do it. the idea behind Withering Wail here is that we can follow up with the Lunari Priestess and put down blocks. These attacks aren't like super scary. His units don't have any health. Like, what does that lead up to if we want to say like Withering Wail? And then go hard something. 6 mana, we'd have a 3. We could still follow up with Priestess. Okay. Okay, he can't give Overwhelm. That's my big worry here. Let's take the Meteor Shower. I wonder, like, at what stage he's willing to be like, well, I guess I'm going to attack with these. He's invested so much in these dudes.
Nothing is safe.
Take a look at
Okay.
this.
In Avarosa's name.
Do we want to keep clearing out this board? That's kind of scary. Like if he ever just plays some kind of like AoE and hits us with this dude. I think we can just take 2. I'd rather just hit face. I don't even really want to kill any of these things. But I think I'd rather him draw a card from his deck than a random expensive. Okay. So that feels pretty good. As long as we don't draw a Thresh next turn, then we'll have a huge field of rush. That's weird. It seems strange to me that when we feel the rush, it doesn't count as a nightfall for Diana, right? Because we played the card. Oh, maybe she reads it when you play her, not summon. Yeah, that's the way nightfalls work.
We open our hearts to her gentle light.
Play, yeah, makes sense. Say, what up, man? Here's some stats. hope you're ready for some stats. That's unfortunate.
Snow, wind, and ice. Defiance is our way.
You don't see a reason to put more damage on our other units. We don't have any way to interact with the egg. Here, I think we want to set up to just playing a full mana Living Legends next turn. So I might as well just go ahead and play some stuff. Do we want to go about this? I want to hang on to this. So it's like, okay, we have 5 mana if this is what we're wanting to do. Don't really want to get Tayari involved. Play Duskbringer. And play Shadestalker. Shadestalker is what'll flip our Diana.
Backup?
I'm your backup.
Unseen, unheard.
They tried to blind me with resplendence, but they could not break me.
Scared of another Nightfall? We don't have it. It's not a whole lot to be scared about.
For truth.
Halt!
I protect this place.
Okay, I figured we might as well just go ahead and put this chip damage down. There's a world where we can maybe block with that next turn, but I think this is okay. We're gonna need to kind of like clean up our board a little bit for this Living Legends as well. But the big thing we'll be looking out of this is like if we can Living Legends Supernova, that should close out the game. We should have a lot of options we can get going with this. Okay. Do we want to empty anything out of our hand now that the turn's going to be passing? Just to get additional cards from the Living Legends. We just want to greed out all 3 of these. Kind of like it. Or, well, we could play 2.
Inevitability.
Smell that, Varg? Fear.
Ally challenge, sure. Maybe we try to just spew out our hand next turn and play the Living Legends on the follow-up turn. I don't know. I mean, it's Battle Fury kind of changes things. We're a bit far away from a Battle Fury kill, though. How many more Nightfalls do we have? 1 Shadestalker, Diana, because she flips to Pale Cascade. So 2. We got 2. Not a great chance of drawing them. It's just like if we play this and it just seems kind of spewy. Like his board is a pain in the dick to attack into, but he's not really doing anything threatening besides 2 to all of our units. And it's just kind of like, well, what if we draw the Scourge? That's easy. There's a lot of just easy plays that can come out of these. And then we would like to just deal with this Anivia as well. I think we want to just go for it.
And ice.
We'll never survive. Okay. And then I guess the other thing, I think if we really want to, we can play 3 mana worth of things before we leave Living Legends, just to draw some additional cards. Maybe that's how we want to go about it.
Brothers, time to reflect.
There's not like a whole lot of like 3 and 4 mana cards we want to be playing off of this. Let's spend a little bit.
And fade with the morning.
Today, base camp. Tomorrow, the summit.
I guess the time where that doesn't quite pan out is if we wanted to play Meteor Shower to take down the Agnivia. Yeah, this is the board where these don't look as good, but we had to hit a Cosmic Rays, or we had to hit a Supernova. Had to hit something there. So I kind of stand by just drawing up to the extra cards to try to make sure we get our 1 card out of it. Although it would be nice to be able to just like Moonsilver Traveler, play the Traveler. But seems like we're in a pretty reasonable spot. Reckoning. Okay. Interesting choice. So this will hook out a Diana. Can't kill him with it, but I don't think we can like not open here if we have the opportunity to kill this thing and get a free Diana in play. Our hand isn't a whole lot to write home about.
A new moon rises.
Okay, let's play the little one. I don't want to. I think we're gonna have to save this Battle Fury to try to pull off a lethal. So it's not the spot I really want to be spending it.
We feast tonight, Varg.
Oh shit! I forgot these things had fucking ephemeral. Oh whoops! Oh man, I don't like how we played this at all. We should have just saved our 7 mana to make sure that we had a way to protect our Thresh.
Nothing a good kicking can't fix.
Okay. Here comes our Battle Fury. There's no 2 ways around that.
Looks fragile.
Oh, we don't even survive with the Battle Fury. Oh, that's gross. Gross. This thing's gonna be a real pain in the ass. I don't know if we can beat this henchman. We're gonna have to like Spacey Sketcher into a friggin' silence or something. Ugh, brutal this game. Oh yeah, go hard. Oh man. Oh, this is brutal.
One star's whoopsie is another spark. I'm actually here.
I cannot turn back.
Let's leave stupid thing back. This just kind of looks like we're trying to get a Trying to get a new unit out of this thing.
My
Oh, he's got 3 of them. Oh no. Okay. I think we're done for. I don't know how we get out of this one. You just have units, right? You can just open kill us. Yeah, we're getting out of this one. No amount of being clever will get us away from this. Okay. Damn.
More where that come from?
I will not abandon my beliefs.
Okay. It feels bad playing Fielder Rush and not winning. That hurts a lot. Anyways, I do kind of like how Withering Wail plays out in these decks, but I think we just want the combat trick here. It's not a super good trick, but let's take it. I still like what Wolfrider does in our deck. We have this early game aggression. He's a great mid game unit. Porofly. Why would we ever want Porofly? We're good. We're good to move on. Okay. If we can't give you all a value run here, 13 games. That's the goal, right? 13 games, 7 wins. Full value for the viewers. That's what I'm here for. Come on, bud. Kitty agrees. I guess goal number 2 is typically getting cat hair in your mouth. Shit. That's the way these runs go. Shitload of games, little cat hair in your mouth. Not a bad day. Alright, with this, I can't imagine we ever want to keep Go Hard. It's just worse than like Blade's Edge, and we never want Blade's Edge. So I think we can reasonably keep these. Pale Cascade should always be good enough. And hitting Diana's fine. We can skip playing Warden's Prey, so we can try to get this Diana attack in on 3. Okay with that. Maybe we'll pick up another 1 in the process and get a touch of aggression down. Uh-oh. B.R. Boney Hitor may have dropped his phone in the toilet. Let's not hope for the worst. Oh, can't play our unit. We got to save it for Diana. And I don't think we really need to be running out Shadestalkers. I think we're not in just like a super hurry, and it's kind of reasonable if we want to play this on turn 4 to just try to guarantee us a way to get in the Wolfrider. We would have to pick up a 1 or a 2 or a spell to pull it off that way, which is kind of sketchy. Maybe we should just go ahead and play it. And if it just comes down and trades with something, it's fine. Their standard removal suite at this point is just stuff like Make It Rain and Mystic Shot, so it's probably fairly safe. If at worst it comes down and trades with something, I'm okay with that. Does mean we wouldn't be able to Pale Cascade next turn, though. I don't think Dude's here anyways. Let's skip on it. I want to be able to Cascade.
The chains, they never stop. I thought
He's
you'd never
back.
ask.
Dusk approaches.
He didn't need those first 2 turns. He just banking it up. Doing his stretches, getting prepared for the battle that's about to go down.
My patience wanes.
Here, I'm going to go ahead and go hard this Ezreal. I don't want to have to Pale Cascade into this, and I have to get some kind of value out of this, and so I think I'm pretty okay to just go hard here, bash in with the Diana, and then if his play is like a Mystic Shot or a Get Excited, well, Get Excited doesn't apply. If it's a Mystic Shot, then we can still survive it.
Moonlight
Anyway, no need to Pale Cascade now. Picking up a 2-drop here was pretty big as well.
No more lies. I will be heard.
No way.
Kitty likes chin. Kitty likes the chin scratches. I don't know how you all play this game, but I think this is the way to do it. You gotta have the cat around. Okay. So here, I think we should just keep playing units.
Listen to the sounds of the wilds.
I have a whole lot of ways to interact with this. I don't really want to get 2 for 1 by this thing.
Unseen,
But like with the way this is panning out, well,
conceals you from our foes.
I want to go
all right.
home.
This isn't obvious that we're going to try to play something like Bloodsworn Pledge, and now it makes both of these units die to what we have on board. We just have to accept that we aren't ramping. But I mean, the ramp isn't good unless we're on the evens, anyways. So I think this is reasonable if we get a 2 for 1 on the pledge and still keep our units around. Or we could just flip. What happens if we flip our Diana? It's tough for him to play units that can block her unless it's like Gangplank. He's not playing Gangplank. What if we do this? What if we say Spacey Sketcher, discard Go Hard? Maybe we hit a Challenger, maybe we don't. I'm kind of happy with any of the units, like either Challenger or 3-3. Follow up with Crescent Guardian. He doesn't have good blocks. And that's going to flip our Diana. I like this. Spacey Sketcher, discard Go Hard. Okay, you're at least a unit.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly.
And we could still, if we want to pledge, we can still give up on it. I feel like this is probably going to be okay defensively. I mean, what's the worst you can do here? You could play like Unlicensed Innovation, which would be kind of painful.
Arise in our time of the
It's just
moon
there's not a
is
whole
our
lot
queen,
of
the
big
night,
units
her kingdom.
in Bilgewater PZ. Come on, bud. Make a decision. Oh, there's the cat here. Gotcha. Sure. And so this attack seems reasonable. We hit with everything. He takes 3 trample from the Crescent Guardian. He gets 1 trample from this for 4 total.
Like
If he wants to take a value block on the Sketcher, then more power to you. But I imagine it's probably going to... I don't know. I mean, his life total's fairly high.
Sure, boss.
Figure this will come down here. So yeah, gotcha, number 2. Okay. Surprised you didn't at least try to value block on the Sketcher. That's strange. Okay. I don't think we need to bank for anything. There's like no spells that we have that we want to play on his turn.
Have a mushroom. Have 3.
Diana part 2. So how do we do this in the next turn? I thought I was just going to play Wolfrider, but I want to have 8 mana next turn. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 7 next turn, plus 1 bank to be 8, so we can just we can go ahead and Wolfrider. And then we'll still have all the mana next turn if we want to Tyari. I'm good to just throw away Spacey Sketcher.
I'll become who I was always meant to be.
Oh, I got a cat hair in my nose. If it's not, if it's not one place, it's another. Gotta sneeze. Like... Oh, sure. I guess that's another way to get our Sketcher off the board.
They grow up so fast.
Ill meant.
Was that his reason for not blocking with the Patrol Wardens? Because he had a Static Shock? It's bold. should probably protect our Diana at this stage. Otherwise, I guess we don't have a lot of other 3 health units, but it seems like he seems ready to be casting spells on her and shit. So I prefer to just go ahead and take care of this. And then we want to hook kill this peddler. So let's do this.
Night descends.
These.
I will be heard.
What seems to be the problem?
Yep.
Just be
Takes 6.
my pretty.
Pretty good. Pretty good spot. Okay.
Sunlight
I don't
guide you,
think
my
we'll need the
brethren.
comet, but that was what we were wanting here. We should just be open killing him next turn, but I want to. In the event something goes wrong, this should save the day.
Where do you stand on cold shots?
We want to just go ahead and Wolfride. Can't AoE us in any way. I like it. Mm-hmm. So we're not lethal here, right? This blocks. Wave Rider blocks here. This thing blocks Diana. We're gonna hit for 2 units. Is this worth a comet though? I don't think it's worth a comet. Let's just accept that we're 2 turns away. Also, I guess Feel the Rush. We've already played 1 Diana. This is our second. This is just gonna pull out the 10/10 Thresh.
Where you going?
Okay.
Can't win.
I'm happy with this. We're gonna fall in Comet absolutely whatever he plays, unless it's just like a bunch of 1/1s, and then we'll feel the rush on our turn. This is fine, I guess. Really prefer him just play like a 7-drop that we that we can hit with the Comet. That's gonna have to be good enough. It's tough for him to have a better unit than this turn, right? We're never playing that Comet at any other stage of this game.
Heard there was a little fella asking for me. Meow, meow, meow.
Just make our Diana bigger. So we did all this work, right? This is the place where we get to sit around and bitch how we aren't getting full value out of our Field of Rush. But no, this is the space I'll talk about though, right? If we have 3 Dianas, 1 Thresh, we have a Diana on board. I'm not real sure how this interaction actually works. If Field of Rush just brings out Thresh, so that's why I'm going to add the 3rd champion, just for this scenario.
Meow, meow, meow.
But it would be ideal to know how the game actually works. We're gonna die. It's like the things we have to figure out. Are we just gonna die here? That was a pretty big pickup.
I'm on it.
This is not the deck I want to have to like fade for 2 turns. He has an elusive. We just take the big dude at this point? I mean, probably. He's just gonna block it with anything, but we can't get a kill card out of this priestess.
I'm always up for a round or 2. Dead in their
Cards
tracks.
Thresh, sure. We weren't lethal anyways. Then he still has to block everything. We want to go ahead and Nightfall so we can kill his good units. I think we do. Okay, I'm gonna take the removals. We're gonna answer his submersible. He shouldn't have any more of these, and then the meteor shower gives us an answer to
Someday we will be one.
if he plays like 4/4 elusives. Not a bad card in this scenario. Not a bad card. Oof.
There they go.
So we can probably let Twisted Fate go for a turn though.
I
So let's do
cannot
this.
turn back. Face your heretic.
Change
So
is
we get
coming.
one value block with the investigator, and he has to block everything else. This is fine.
Safety first.
I'll recite your rights.
Fire beware.
Getting pretty dense on these puff caps, especially once our deck starts to get lower. Kind
My
of scary.
patience wanes.
Meow.
All right, let's hook out some more Dianas. Those don't exist. We can open on us for an additional 5 damage. Oh god, we're gonna lose this one, aren't we? This is not a good spot to be in. Oh, sick. Sometimes you just gotta be a little better lucky than good sometimes.
Lady Luck is smiling. Nobody escapes.
How greedy do we want to get here?
Ignorant.
Could probably just go ahead and block Twisted Fate and try to Meteor Shower down. I feel like he's probably just trying to go all in on us. And then, big thing to note, the thing that we have to do before next turn is play Star Shaping on ourselves. Oh, that was brutal. Oh man, we fucked that up. Like there was no reason to not switch these. Oh, that's bad.
Listen.
Okay. Let's do it this way. Let's add a unit. We have to start shaping here. We can't go into next turn risking these puff cap draws. I mean, we're not really close to hitting them, but it's a risk we can't take. Then here we're gonna look for an elusive or an overwhelm. Overwhelm. Alright, wouldn't have died, but that was closer than anyone wants to see. Alrighty, I think we survived it. He needs an atrocity, doesn't even do it. He needs a progress day into some real gems.
Unseen, unheard.
All right, we're good. I'm calling our shot. I'm not gonna emote, but, I feel like this is an appropriate spot to start dropping the good game Shen. Come on, bud. So we can click on the little kitty here. Some to do, right? Can't believe the winter theme doesn't have clickable stuff. What are they thinking? What were they thinking, Riot? Alright, a little rage quitter Ruski.
Any last words? Yes, you.
Let's hang out here a little bit longer. You gotta wait it out. Empty out this guy's time bank. Alright, there we go. On to the next one. That was not good Runeterra. That was sloppy. Sloppy. Like, we were gonna lose that Diana on any of those blocks, which is fine, but we should not have put her in front of Twisted Fate to where she risked taking the quick strike lethal, leaving him with an extra blocker. Okay, I'd like to get rid of these Wolfriders, but I think one of these other trades might just be better. Kind of cool with getting rid of Tyari. He doesn't play like real well in our deck, but he does play well with the Crescent Guardian and the what are these Wolfriders? Just giving them the 5 health on the Overwhelm is big, because then it typically takes 2 units to kill them, and they get a lot of extra value. It's just we run into like so many combats where this just doesn't do anything, and these games have also been going later than I'd like, and so I'd kind of like to pick up another Invoke. I would rather that be a Priestess, but you know, shit in one hand and wish in the other. I do feel like this is a touch of an upgrade, picking up a Sentry, but I don't think it's too harmful to hang on to these Ibexes. I still think they're very good with like our Dianas, and would like to hang on to it. Let's pick up the Invoke. Right. I had such high hopes for Tyari at the set review time, and he's still okay. I mean, there's a world where he could be good. It's just like with supports, they only power spike like every other turn. It's not like, I don't know, you play a loyal Badger Bear and it's good because it has a lot of stats and it's good on your turn and your opponent's turn. Like Tyari is shit on your opponent's turn, and sometimes he's just shit on your turn, right? Like just having so many times where you have to attack with him and he can't even trade. It's just he's a real struggle. I thought those plus stats were going to be good enough since they were permanent, but apparently not. What's happening here? Connect a little harder. There we go. Lord Stacy with all the dragons. Start out like, okay. I don't think this counts as a win. That typically means something went wrong and they make you play the game over again. I think in Hearthstone that would just count as a win. Well, probably in Hearthstone you're probably coin flipping as to whether or not you got stuck with a loss for that. I'd rather play the game, so that's what we're here for, right? Everybody likes to get a little bit of value, likes to get the big rewards out of here, but if the game's not fun to play, then what's the fucking point? As far as I'm concerned, this is pretty fun. So here, let's get rid of everything. Just everything's a little bit too expensive. Okay.
Oh, goodness. Would enter battle unprepared.
Why can't this dude have Nightfall? make it a lot easier.
Rise.
These just have not played well. I had such high hopes for how these were going to pan out. Like, they're reasonably statted. It's a big ability, just cheating. That's why you have to look at this. Like, is cheating at this game good? Yes, it is. But They just have not impressed in this deck. This guy, okay, way to hit your behold naturally. How do we want to approach it? I don't like. I guess we just play the soldier. Stops him from attacking. He's just gonna like 2-for-1 with this. We don't have any way around it. I don't know what he's thinking about. He's never the aggressor here. You're playing Aurelion Soul. What are you trying to do being aggressive?
These old eyes still see far and clear.
So I want to add Sentry. We're going to add Bark Beast. There's not a whole lot we can do into a unit like this without combat tricks, or, you know, we really need like more Pale Cascades, or we need Unspeakable Horrors, whatever the. Why would you Behold the Infinite here? It's going to Nightfall down at 2/3. Okay, I don't know why people do that stuff.
It's our time.
I'd considered attacking with Bark Beast because we're just going to get 2-for-1 by this, right? There's not a world where we get in a single combat with this. We can't just sit around and not do anything. But I was thinking of attacking with Bark Beast. If we're going to be slamming 2 units into this guy anyways, then why don't we just slam our Bark Beast into it now? But I feel like we might be able to get just a little bit more out of this than just slamming it. If it trades here, I guess I'm kind of okay with that. We think, you know, we're going to get 2-for-1 and we're going to spend a card in the process. Okay.
We will be free.
The chains, they never stop.
Well, this is our game to ramp. Look out. We're doing it. We're finally doing it.
For the homestead.
Whoa.
Where's my lunch?
He's got big plans for this guy. What is this going to be? Is like a Bloodsworn pledge?
Smell that, Varg? Fear.
Has some star shapings or something? That's very very perplexing that he's hanging on to the scavenger. Here's our path to victory. Okay, let's take the Overwhelm. I would have preferred one of the elusives, but not really in a spot to do a whole lot of hoping and dreaming.
Now we go.
Okay, whatever his combat trick is here, I'll take it. Works for me. Then we're just going to open Battle Fury next turn, right? Let's get the Undying down. If he has a what's it called? A Frostbite, then that's fine. But I think like at least what's ideal here is we should be able to Battle Fury our Mystic, and then if you know, if his plays here are Frostbites, then he'll still have this like huge Overwhelm. We're gonna have to give up on these wolves in this degree, I think. What do you think of that? Well, we can at least run over Trundle and save our unit. That's probably safer. No reason to just throw these away, I guess. And we'll have more Overwhelms in the next turn. But I think we're going to get Harsh Winds here. Or at least Flash Freeze, sure. So we still have Big Boy over here. It sucks that he dies to or he can get hit by Brittle Steel now, but still got this monster Overwhelm doing shit. Okay, that's not a bad set of bros to Try to close it out with next turn.
Cold. You're in my kingdom now.
Not a bad set of bros. Indeed. So what, he's gonna slam troll into our Wolfrider, which is okay. Usgar's a little less okay.
Win all.
So hit here, Asgar hits here. We are gonna have the bigger overwhelm next turn, but
This troll land.
Darkness hides my path.
okay, and then we can burst the Stalking Shadows next turn. Maybe not. Maybe play it, maybe don't. Or whatever comes out of it. The sad thing is we don't have any Doom Beasts here. We do a Spacey Sketcher. We could try to pick up 2 Elusives. Kind of like it. None of those are it. Those aren't the Elusives. We can still do stuff with the Serpent, I guess.
And here's where I'd paint my constellation.
Okay, cool. Glad to see him just play a giant dude. Come on, game. We had this planned out so perfectly. We got 2 shots at it. There's only five cards to pick from here. Oh, and we missed it every time. We could have hit the stunned thing, or we could have hit the elusive. Either of them would have just been perfect. And then, just fucking miss. Probably just have to take the silence thing. We can try to silence Usgar. So as far as overwhelms go, sure, whatever. We can overwhelm this thing for a point. We can hit in for 2 with this. This is always a free attack with the Undying. Okay.
Forgive me.
Safeguard our homes.
Right. Don't want to play Serpent or Equinox. We're going to play Equinox on Usgar, but we want to get this out of the way first and see what we draw with the Sentry.
You got a problem? Trollhide too thick.
Okay. Gotta survive another turn. This is 10-ish. You can't 16 us. Well, you can play more big dudes, but with this board, he can't hit us for that much. And my full plan here is to open next turn. I don't really want to block with the Serpent, but some of these blocks are still good. Then I'm just going to ignore Battle Fury being a card. The one that's kind of scary here is that he can Pale Cascade us, which I would not be real happy about. But how does this look? This can go here.
Hold still.
To 1? Are we willing to go to 1? we can get around Fury of the North if we block with this, and that counts on us just winning with this Shade Stalker. We're gonna do this. We want to put the point here.
Can I paint
Not
you?
killing stuff. We want this to go like this, like this. Auto 5. Okay. There it is.
I spilled.
I think we're okay. We put damage on his dudes. That was how I lined those blocks up like that, was so that we could hopefully get a point or two of overwhelm damage in. I figured if he wants to block with Trundle, that's at least a point. Then this way maybe this guy can get in a point. And that should get us 2 points if something goes wrong with our Shade Stalker. Okay.
Whatever the cost.
There it is. Thanks for play. Woof. We did it. We did it. Whoop, whoop. Okay, and here's a Trundle. That's fine. So we'll have the 2 Dianas, the 1 Thresh. Trundle's a reasonable pickup. I mean, summon 2 different random champions from your hand and deck. I just don't. It's weird how these flips work, right? Because sometimes they count as champion. It's still weird. Like, if you have this in play, then this still counts as a unit. So if you say have Diana in play, this is flipped to Pale Cascade, and you play Mobilize, it still counts as a unit. So if Diana in play dies, then this still counts as a 1-mana card. But it's not real clear on how this reads, because I don't think it counts as a champion. Well, see, I'm not real sure how that works. It seems like it should count as a spell whenever we play Field of Rush. I've brought this up a few times. I keep meaning to ask Riot and don't. But I just think if we have Diana in play, Field of Rush isn't going to pull out a second Diana. So that's why we want to pick Trundle. And he at least comes with a Solari Priestess for more invokes. Rummel is a reasonable piece of top end, just a giant overwhelm to close out games. This is a pretty good pool to pick up for what we're trying to pull off here. Oof. All right. That was one to feel good about. I thought we did good there. Or at least we did good in comparison to the previous game. Not bad in general. Not bad in general. Making those wood 3 level plays in the in the previous. Jesus. Okay, a whole bunch of ashes with Fiora. We'll have to not super worry about this Fiora, but she's still a thing. I think if this was like what we could expect to be a 3 Fiora deck, we'd probably want to keep both Priestesses. Just to try to pick up that Obliterate card, because we don't actually have any removal spells. I think I'm going to convince myself I'm okay with just 1.
Night flowers upon my blade. Lunari, rise!
Fiora, you play your sentry, trade sentries here.
A chill in the air. If they're out there, I'll spot them.
This is kind of awkward in the sense that he's not going to attack here. People will never make this attack. We want to go hard, this Icevale Archer. But if we do that, then he just gets to play a 3-3 behind. They have 3-3 behind like 100% of the time here. So let's just throw these at him. If either of these cards gets a Frostbite, then I'm pretty okay with it. And I think we'll get a go hard at some point in time on this thing. Sure, you probably just have to do this. People get a real high Sure. So I mean, the way I look at this is we just traded a troll chant for a dust bringer. So it's like we spent a 1 mana card on their 2 mana card, and that's a positive for us, even though we didn't really like win the combat there. I'm tempted to just pick up Written in the Stars. All of our champions are good hits.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
So it's like his board is never going to be impressive. I mean, he can play an Ash next turn, which is kind of crappy, but this should get us lined up to have just huge champion on board that has that has Challenger 3 out of 4 times on our next turn.
You're covered.
Sure. There's not a world where he doesn't attack. I don't think it matters a whole lot, but we'll wait till after his attack to Written in the Stars. And if we don't get our, I can't imagine he's gonna bamboozle us with this this Divine Shield 3/1. This is coming in like 100% of the time. Like, how long are you realistically going to sit around and try to keep me from drawing a card with Avarosian Sentry? It's just... It's a pretty big ask. Okay, I mean...
Ready the torches.
I'm willing to accept whatever trick he has here. I don't... Kind of same deal. I don't want... Well, it's not the same deal as the previous turn. I don't want to be putting 2 cards up here on an attack like this, because you're just going to get Troll Chain at 100% of the time. But with this Divine Shield thing up here, have to see how this plays out. Sure. Should probably stop calling that Divine Shield. Whatever that is. When he's trying to barrier me. Okay.
Ours is the one true light.
So I'm cool to get all of these units in. The Soldier, the Diana, the Shadestalker. See if he just trundles. Oh, he doesn't. He's not playing trundles. None of these champions are effective here. It's weird seeing these people not bank up. Right, that's usually my big worry playing against Freylord Demacia, that they're going to have a barrier or a frostbite in every single combat. That tends to be how they get you. It's you get into combat, they troll chant something and then play a 2-drop. You get into combat, they brittle steal something and play a 2-drop. They get into combat, they repose something and play a 2-drop, and then they're just fully wide after they've spent spells on all of your units. It's weird seeing them just kind of like tap out like this. He's usually a little bit banked across the way. Do not want this in my deck. It's like, I don't want Blade's Edge in my deck. I don't want this thing shuffling more copies of itself back into our deck. I just don't want anything to do with this. I hope we can trade it away.
Darkness hides my path.
Okay, so this Diana attack's not. This is not going to be a successful attack, but his units can't actually kill her, and he can't riposte. So I feel like we're going to be playing Diana. Something's going to get prismatic barriered, or something's going to get flash frozen, and then just going to take 2. Be the end of the day.
Cold and unforgiving as moonlight.
He's making a lot of big decisions over there. I wouldn't be surprised to see this just immediately shipped back, but that was a lot faster shipped back than the other turns were.
Face your heretic.
This should be okay. I have to assume our Diana's just gonna have 1 health here, but she's not gonna die. Oh, goodness. I feel like that turn took way too much time out of my life. Jesus, you gotta give me Blitz Runeterra, or I'm gonna start bitching again. Oh god. So we eat a 7 hit? It's not the end of the world. Let's get a little intel on what's about to happen here. Can't Cosmic Raise any of this. I think we're just stuck taking the warrior. Fully planning on just taking this Wild Claw hit. Right, because then next turn we can Warrior Pale Cascade. I think I'm fine with that.
Come, a new phase awaits.
Let's at least threaten these smaller guys. I was thinking if we just want to pass, because he's going to attack with the Wild Claw 100% of the time. And if we don't add to the board, I think he's going to attack with these 2 dudes 100% of the time. But I think Wild Claw might help change that. If he attacks into us, that's kind of scary. I'm not real stoked about the possibility of getting hit with a Brittle Steel here. But, I mean, probably just have to accept that that's a fact of life. Let's at least just block this one. It's the same amount of damage.
Tear them apart.
But this will at least survive an Armor Blast or a Radiant Strike. Would we rather Trundle? Probably not.
This is a lie.
I like it. I like being able to just threaten this without putting anything in front of it, without having to have a card.
Knocked and ready.
Okay, here comes the squad.
Devotion through battle.
See if we get that all. See how harsh the winds are today. But I mean, we have to be getting some kind of advantage here, right? We just ate a shitload of damage from this Wild Claw. If he plays another Overwhelm, we're like ultra fucked. And so I think we just have to start slamming this stuff in here. This is going positively. Let's at least take this unit down.
Cloaked in silver light.
All right, we're in a bit of a pickle if he decides that he's just going to come out here and play like the 4/5 trample or whatever. Taking that hit. Maybe we should have blocked his 3/4 archer or his archer just to prevent a couple more points so we could eat some of this overwhelm. But we're in a good spot if we can survive his turn, and we have plus 8 health in our hand. Can't play Trundle and do all this, but.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
does this look? I don't think he just opens, but it's not the worst open.
Who goes there?
We do have this bro as well. This is one way to get a whole bunch of health on board, which I think I'm pretty cool with. Can't Crystal Arrow us until next turn.
We all walk our own path.
Now Ash hits this thing. We have monster blockers for this stuff. Okay. Alright. I like it. I like it. I don't know how much mathematics you all did on liking it, but I did a lot. I got a pretty cool number out of it. Let's go face one from a unit. Okay.
My patience wanes.
Yep.
Blessed by snow and stars.
Here. I mean, the Wild Claw is the only unit that matters, and we have good blocks on it. The rest of attacks just don't look good. We can still block either the Seer or Archer with Rummel. He won't die. This thing is still good to block here. So we put Diana here. We lose Diana, but he loses Ash. This goes here. We take 8. Are we just dead? We're just dead if we make the good blocks, right? Rummel here. Diana here. We could put the 2-3 in front of Ash. That only takes 6.
My arrow won't miss.
Die for me.
Meet destiny.
Okay, we figured it out. That's that's the blocks. If you didn't follow along.
Sisters.
Okay, then. It's tough. I think we just need to hop this Ash. If he has a Frostbite, he at least has to do it now, and then we know what we're getting ourselves into. This is risky, right? The safer one is the Archer, because if he has any combat trick, then he can save either. But if he has a Flash Freeze for our Rummel or something, then we're kind of hosed. All right, that was good. I don't think we can ever get wider than him. We're never getting a kill this turn. So with that in mind, I think we just want to Trundle. Trundle's still a good attack. Diana's still a good attack. Okay. I didn't expect it to be that easy. I wonder what was in his hand for him just to give up like that.
You should be honored.
Alrighty, well, we pick up here. We're never picking up Dragon's Clutch. I feel like this Warden's Prey Spacey Sketcher is a slight upgrade. I mean, we can discard. We have a gem from Gift Giver. We have a few ways, right? We have the 2 Dustbringers, 1 Gift Giver. I think that's it. Not too enticing, but it's something. And like this feels like an upgrade, but not very big. None of these feel like big upgrades outside of this pure negative. I think picking up the Sketcher is okay. Okay. I think I won 2 in a row. Sorry for taking away y'all's value. I know you're here for the full 13, but sometimes it's just not in the cards. Interesting. I see stuff like this, like I'm still, excuse me, still feel uncertain about this one on the left being the one they have the most copies of. It seems like, why would you ever want? I've tried so hard to make a deck with 3 Shens in it. It just never Never plays out.
What does he want from me?
Huh? Maybe that's how it is. Or maybe this guy's 2 and 2. This is not a super impressive turn. It's too easy for him to add something that could deal with the Feral Mystic. I think we just have to open for the 1. Then I'm fine to just bank into next turn.
Beauty charms while claws take hold.
Come on, bud. Was looking to play this defensively. We of course could have gotten the Solari Soldier down there, but it doesn't ultimately seem necessary. Doesn't feel super good opening here either. So I think we just want to add the sentry.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
And then next turn we'll just lead with Soldier Guardian. We don't have any units that we want to give the Overwhelm to anyways. This is okay. Uh-oh. I think make next turn awkward. there's a good chance we just get blanked next turn if we try to go for the Soldier Guardian play. Ooh. Not attack.
Raise your weapon, Sunwood.
See, like if he plays a barriered Fiora here, it's just kind of alright, buddy.
Slow down, will you?
That doesn't have barrier. I did the mathematics on that one. Okay, well, this is fine. None of his Claws of the Dragon blocks aren't good. I'm sure this can trade with the Crescent Guardian, but he'll at least take 4 for the effort.
You act, but do not see.
Ugh, okay. Always cool hitting sentries off of that thing. And the Battle Fury, just roll it out here. You gonna give me headbutts, bro? We don't have the overwhelms to make that particularly exciting, so let's at least get our knowledge base on here. See what's about to come up. Probably just need to go big. Well. Maybe we just look to go around. He has some unit in his hand with barrier. He's going to be able to shut down a lot of combats. I don't think we're going to get a lot out of these firebrands. Let's take the Shadestalker.
Ready the torches.
And make some blocks. Okay.
Light the signal fires.
Mother Moon, veil me.
So who's ready to just go for it?
Virtue guides me.
I need the people to let me know. We're going to be at the 6 mana next turn. So we just need to bank 2 so we can safely play
Nothing
Sentry.
escapes my watch.
Alright, we're doing it. What are the chances this goes wrong? There's ways for this to go wrong, but
Whatever the cost.
what up? Shit, he's doing stuff. Fuck.
Hold back the darkness.
Oh man, and he has the riposte. Oh, come on, dude. Come on. This dude doesn't like to have fun. Whatever. The sharp sight and the riposte. Oh. We're just gonna have to club him with Field of Rush now. So we have one good block on this thing. Kind of okay to just run these out at will, but we should probably Nightfall it while we have Diana in our hand. Pretty close to getting this upgraded. Alright, let's do this. I'm not planning on playing anything out of this, but I'm really just doing that for the Nightfalls.
Invisible to the ignorant.
Look out for Reavers! Alert the village!
We draw Thresh. The Thresh being interesting when we're about to drop 4 the rushes on this dude. Or feel the rush. It's going to be a few turns from now, but...
Must we fight?
Good. So we're going to do it next turn. Do we just want to deploy some blockers and do this next turn? Or we have 9 mana. We can just blast out this Brood Mother and pass. It's okay.
Dragons, such fascinating creatures.
The balance requires a
Take
watchful
8.
eye.
Fall to 5. Okay.
It must be done.
If you're going to try to kill in that spot, you have to play your spells first. Okay, no deny. That would have been a real treat. How did that work? Did it put one of the Dianas in our hand and then put it? That's weird. Making copies. I thought they took this guy out of Expedition. Oh. Okay.
I taste purple. Yay.
A little luck for those who need it.
Let's get some of this stuff going. Looking to sketch away this gem. I mean, what do we want to even hit with that? We just care about getting wide. We're going to kill 2 units. We can't give Diana Nightfall. Or Challenger. We can just ignore her. It's a touch unfortunate. Taking the messenger, I just want to get wide. Kind of suspect this dude not playing anything, but
Made of stars.
Okay.
Where's my journal?
and we'll stop there. I'm not going to attack with anything else. Probably never have to play both combat tricks, but let's see how this pans out. We're never going to lethal this dude. It's going to take us 100 turns to lethal this guy. So
No more
let's at least
lies.
ground it out where we can.
How bothersome.
Your place is still in the mortal world.
Sweet tones of misery.
What tidings from the sky?
Okay, well, we can certainly bring some overwhelmed thunder here. See if this dude plays Judgment. Okay. I guess we just have to accept that we died to riposte. I'm not going to replace Thresh with a with a Rommel.
So I go.
You will be scoured from this land!
Walking is strange.
We're like there's no way we just have to block this. Like he doesn't have anything.
Ignorant thrall.
Protector, shield me!
Okay, then we almost assuredly die here, like 75% of the time. But yep, might as well try to draw something. I don't think we can draw anything, but
It is not yet their time. Our wills align.
we can't draw anything. Okay.
Protector! My paint!
Okay.
I'm still happy with how that panned out. They had the two cards they needed to stop our Battle Fury kill, having both the Sharp Sight and
The
Riposte
Lunari
to
will not
trade
live
up
in fear.
and gain 100 health in the process. That's fine. Let's see, how can we upgrade here? We don't want Ice Quakes. I'd love to get rid of this Feral Mystic, so probably just take the Scuttlegeist. It's just so underpowered. You know, whenever we draw this, it's just like, hope our opponent has a 2 health unit and this can do something. You know, I don't think we may have gotten one game to 10 mana, and so he just doesn't do enough. I would like to make this Pale Cascade trade as well, but Warden Spray is better than just an actual do nothing, whereas Feral Mystic is pretty close to do nothing. Yeah, dude, that last guy was no fun. How often do you line up these plays where you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna battle for you for 10 on turn 6 and make fucking Sharp Sight plays and this horse shit. Okay. Misfortune Vi. Got it. Okay, well, we can hang on to a 2. It's reasonable. Really need 1-drops to push hands like this, but we'll just have to kind of accept that we got this kind of slow grind of a hand, and we can play Diana you know, just as a kind of a mystic shot with reusability. Against Misfortune decks, there's a good chance that we're just gonna be we're not gonna be the aggro anyways.
These old eyes still see.
It's an argument to play the Shadestalker here, but I would like to see if we can't still get a little bit of value out of this thing.
In Avarosa's name.
Intrigue. It weirds me out when people don't block here. Like, what are you hoping to achieve? You either have like a Make It Rain or a Parlay or a way to deal damage. Like, okay, you got a Misfortune. And say otherwise, this is just like I'm just gonna block next turn. We don't have to take the Comet. We can Meteor Shower next turn.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
Captain's orders.
Beautiful.
Believe or burn.
Mwah. Ah.
Okay, we're still pretty healthy. Got a way to gain some health. We got some more invokes. We just need to not die here. This is fine that we didn't have some kind of aggro draw with all of our Nightfalls.
I'm not afraid. Just a wee bit plain.
Until he plays his second Misfortune here. Second Misfortune would be soul crushing in this spot, but
Aye, right.
Ready the torches.
That's a bold move. Okay.
Light the signal fires.
Still a few turns away from Field of Rush, so let's just get our big dude down. This should shut down a lot. I don't think we're ever going to get a real good Diana onto this thing, but this is going to be a Diana turn, even if that means just hooking the Crackshot Corsair.
A little luck for those who need it.
Backup?
I'm your backup.
Dusk approaches.
Why would you do that now? Okay. So, I mean, is the Corsair what we care about the most? Like, well, if we don't take down this Boxtopus, he's just going to hook kill Diana with it next turn. How able are we to just stop this? Then the other thing I'm just kind of thinking of here is, so we just play Crescent Guardian. We attack with Crescent Guardian, big dude, Diana. Diana hooks Crackshot Corsair. He probably puts Patrol Wardens in front of big dude. And so then when next turn rolls around, he's either like value, like chump blocked, let us get a value attack with Firebrand, and then what's he just going to do? Like hook Diana, and we can Pale Cascade? I like it. I like this.
The full moon awakens the soul. No more lies. I will be heard.
Right, because we're really just looking to not die here, and just murdering all his dudes in combat really pushes towards this whole not dying concept.
Son of a
Warden down.
Alright, we're just in a fantastic spot now. We're good to just like Pale Cascade this Diana.
Should have stayed home.
We won't even have to do that if we just want to Priestess, but I think this... Oh, hang on, we're on the 7 mana turn? Oh shit, then we got time. Let's do this. No, we're not guaranteed to have these beholds, so we have to take Living Legends. That's a touch unfortunate.
Cloaked in silver light.
But we just have to be so far ahead now. Like, I don't think he even comes back here with like a Riptide Rex or something. Yep, that's not what you're wanting to be doing. I want to scrap shot our fused Firebrand. It's fine with me. Needs to be Wilfred Gooding or something here. Sleight of hand. Oh god, here he's gonna take our Field of Rush, isn't he? Oh my god, I called it. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. You gotta roll with the punches sometimes, I guess. So how do we ever win this game? I think we need to punch in for 7. That's gonna take him to 9, and then we have to try to win with these elusives. The other kind of thing is, I guess we can take this turn to just get wider than him, which I like as well. Let's actually go that route. I think we need to get as much chunk damage as possible, as much chunk damage as we possibly can right here. Like if he didn't have a play last turn, he's probably doesn't have a whole lot of plays this turn. Yeah.
Mother Moon, veil me.
This my ship.
Sure.
Darkness hides my path.
All right, well, let's see.
Remember my
Let's see if we can beat our own fucking Field of Rush. Oh man, he bombed that. He didn't bank up enough spell mana. Maybe he didn't have to survive. Okay, that was luck. That was extremely lucky for us. I'm pretty sure we can win this one now. Like, if nothing else, we could play Solari Priestess and the Warrior or something here.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Okay, alright, that was extremely lucky. we might have stolen this one. Let's wait until next turn to Gem, just in case he has to make it rain.
Sapphire, gem of our divine patron.
Okay, alright. Oh, his champions were like Misfortune and something else. I was like, if he would have felt the rush for like Thresh and been able to get hooks, that would have been extremely bad for us. But he's still bringing in Misfortunes and stuff. That's pretty big chance to win there. Okay, we have to do this. I don't really care what this champion is. Trundle and Nocturne are kind of the same thing to me. Nocturne would probably be a little bit stronger since we do have potential to flip him, and his flip is extremely powerful, giving everything fearsome. But getting rid of this Go Hard for a high-quality card in Solari Priestess is just such a super upgrade. That Go Hard is just incredibly horrible. This ain't constructed. If you've been playing a lot of constructed, you've probably been seeing what a real gem playing against Go Hard is. But in Expedition, that's just not the case. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in the matter, but that is an abysmally unfun card to play against in constructed. Like the thing it reminds me of is in like Magic, where you would have these formats to where. You know, I'm fine with it. I guess if you want to look at it from like the way it goes with Runeterra sometimes is like when like the burn decks were good in Runeterra, people would just play basically like every life gain card in the format, and their deck was good against burn. Like some people would say that you had to do it, some people would say they just did it because it was good. Whatever your side of the story is, don't care. But you know, it is what it is. That was, you know, a strategy in the game. The way I don't like that is when back to the magical anecdote was when you would have a format where like Siege Rhino and Thragtusk were just spectacular cards, and you know, there is the argument that, you know, if Siege Rhino is a good card, then it's probably a healthy format. It's very similar to like the Baneslayer Angel argument that, you know, Magic is that it's most fun when you're attacking and blocking, and that means if something like Baneslayer Angel is a good card, then it's probably a healthy format. Here we have this Pale Cascade, and we're about to make this Diana turn. I want to turn this Dust Petal into a card and play Diana. Maybe he'll play something by that point. Don't need Moonsilver. I've been getting a lot of Moonsilvers in Constructed, but we don't have the tools for that. We just need to go for value here. But no, like, if those formats feel unhealthy, like if all of this incidental life gain is just good. Like Siege Rhino is just a very good card. He's overstated. He gains 3 health when you play, and Thragtusk is overstated. I think it gained 5 whenever you played it. It just makes it completely abysmal for aggro decks with like no like no work required. You're just playing good cards for the sake of good cards, but then they just annihilate the meta with all of that life gain. And that to me is what Go Hard feels like. You just can't play like 1 health units have always been in this kind of awkward spot in Runeterra. Just attaching so much value to a card like that doesn't feel good to me. Here, let's just go ahead and shut down this attack. He's not going to want to attack with this next turn now. Oh, you're bringing the Thunder? I'll bite. What's your trick? Okay. Doesn't make him win, makes him not lose. I was expecting another Brittle Steel or something. It seems like a very aggressive use of your life steal. This can tango with this, so let's go ahead and add. And then I'm planning on just playing Solari Priestess next turn, so I'm good to just open. And now Thresh is the thing. Is he playing Trundle? Hash Zed Anivia.
Ooh, that's new. No more hiding.
I'm still on board with this Priestess play.
I sense fear.
We can just let that happen. If he has a second Kinku Lifeblade, then congratulations. It's not something we're ultimately super scared of. Then the idea I have here is we're going to play Priestess this turn, see what we get.
Bring me the calm of an ice-shrouded world.
Okay, that's fine. And then we could look to Thresh next turn. Oh, I want a Meteor Shower. We need to get this Shaman off board.
Ice runs in our veins.
Diana Part 2. It's so strange when your strongest unit is is a 2/2. This is worth Meteor Showering. We just have the second Diana. Let's let him go ahead and win this combat. Then we'll just add another Diana next turn.
No, no.
Yeah, we have to do this. We can't just be adding Thresh here. It doesn't do enough. Can be either adding Thresh or Trundle here. Let's get Thresh on board. We're at the stage of the game where A, I want a unit that can interact with what our opponent's doing. That's what Diana's going to do here as well. But B, we're going to be throwing away a bunch of our stuff. What you got? Let's see that Alpha Wild Claw come down. Oh man.
We go where the war mother
Still have to hit nap time. So that thing hit just fine.
Find your own
There's our
light
Diana,
within
so
the
we still have,
darkness.
as it stands, this is a pretty good combat for us. What else is he going to do here? Play a 3/3? If he passes, he's probably just got a Harsh Winds. And Harsh Winds isn't horrible.
Paint your feelings. It's our time.
Right, if he Harsh Winds, then we just lose Diana. And then these two bounce, that's completely okay. Mm-hmm. Alright, getting pretty close. Pretty close. Gotta get those Battle Fury plays now. Start replacing some of these shits with dragons. Oh snap, we gotta win this one fast. How do we go about this? We can really just add one unit. So it's gotta be a good one. Gotta be a good one. How's this gonna go? We're gonna Thresh hook probably the Outriders. Attack with Firebrand. He has to block here. Takes 2, 4, 6, assuming he doesn't have any other cards. Seems safer than Trundle.
Ooh, that's new.
They will beg for death. Yes, you.
To do that. This goes here. And then the idea with this is if he wants to get some kind of frostbite hook on this thing here, then he's gonna have to do it to our spell shielded unit. It's a little bit tougher to do. Cool. Alright, let's get ready for that final battle. Make some sweet trades, do some final battling. On board. On board. Oh shit, a sunburst? Snap. Can't pick that one up any faster. Okay, here I don't want to make any of these. I do like the I don't really like the Ibex, but I do like it more than the Ravager. We're never going to behold this. We only have like one card, 2 cards, 3 cards. Man, we got all the cards. 4. Oh snap! No, we're still not taking it. I don't want the Mystics. These are awful, and we're not an Avalanche deck. We have too much going on in the early game. Okay, man, I don't want to just trade out all of our early plays for these. I think we need to hang on to all of this stuff. How many? We do have a lot of 1-drops though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all 1s. These are fairly low value 1s. Always good to just pick up another Invoke. The one I was mainly interested in was Unspeakable Horror, since we don't really have any ways to interact with our opponents. What are we at now? 1 Cascade, 1 Sunblessed Vigor for 2. You can call Star Shaping a half. Sunburst Battle Fury at the expensive land. But it's just like these do slot in nicely where we have these draws to where, we want to play Diana on 3 and have some kind of boost. I think we need to trade one of these out though. Let's pick up the Unspeakable Horror. I think we're good on Invokes. We have like 6 or 7. Right? We have 1 Behold the Infinite, 1 Lunari, 1 Star Shaping for 3 bigs, and then 3 mediums in the Solari Priestesses for 6 Invokes in total. I think I'm okay with that. Want to hang on to our Scuttlegeist, not getting rid of these. This could be an upgrade with the Alpha Wildclaw that is much better at closing out games than the Fused Firebrand. I've been getting more and more respect for these Firebrands here recently. Just such a pain in the butt to actually deal with. And it doesn't feel like we're really closing games out with this top end. We're either like getting wide and taking control of boards with Diana, or we're winning with Feel the Rush. It doesn't seem like this Overwhelm is super important. So let's hang on to the Firebrand. See what we can do here. Okay. Try to go for our 4th one in a row. It's a set of champions. Ezreal with Luxheimer. That's kind of scary for us. Can't really answer any of these once they come down on the board. And he can make a whole lot of blockers for our Feel the Rush units. But let's see how this goes. This seems fine. I'm gonna try to stick with this greedy play again, where we since we're on the even attacks, if we can't try to pop off on this Wolfrider, you really don't have the units here to to be making that work. But maybe we'll hit a elusive. This is not an ideal start against a Lux deck.
Don't blink or you'll miss me.
So we can juice up this Ezreal here. So let's see where this gets us. Probably just have to take the Comet. Like, it's not an ultra scary Ezreal, but it's going to be causing us a lot of problems. Whoa, 4/4 Ezreal. That's actually just like so much better for us. Now, how greedy do we want to get? Is there a world where he just doesn't block with Ezreal? Right? Because if he doesn't... That's the thing that worries me about trying to make that play. Is he's going to put the Conservator in front of Dustbringer, he's going to put Ezreal in front of the Priestess, and then we don't have what we need to Battle Fury there. Let's just play it slow. Play our Obliterates and move on. Take our 2-for-1 where we can get it and be happy.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk.
Just feel incredibly far behind now, though. Gotta play another Priestess to see if we can't spike another removal spell, because we certainly can't beat a Lux or a Heimerdinger next turn.
Believe or burn.
You leave me no recourse. Temperamental as moonlight.
I don't quite understand this. Let's see what happens here. He plays a removal spell anywhere. I'm pretty okay with it, but this feels like a really ambitious attack with the Puffcat Peddler. That's fine.
They grow up so fast. I failed.
It is less than exciting. I'm half tempted to just take Moon Silver, but we don't have any Nightfalls. I'm not really trying to sit here and play this game where we try to outgrind Luxheimer. Okay. Can we get our ramp this turn? Let's see. Let's soldier and see what happens.
Bless the faithful and sear the heretics.
Where you go, I go.
We feast tonight, Varg.
Let's get him, Varg. Fuck yes.
Yield or perish.
Okay, we have to start preventing this damage from this thing. If he's going to be on this Puffcat Peddler to victory route, then it's going to cause a problem. Fucking back to back. Ugh. Okay, well, I mean, I'm glad we blocked. We were about to get reamed for a shitload of damage there. And we're playing Thresh next turn. That's a 100% happening. Or we're attacking with Thresh next turn. Have to take down this Vanguard First Blade. I don't think we need to build towards trying to Battle Fury him. That seems a little greedy. Let's see if we can't find another Obliterate. Cool.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Okay. He's trying to bank at 3. It's probably about time for his Lux to be active. Oh, that's aggressive. Do we ever do it? I don't think so. Not just yet, but keep that in mind. We might be going to be dropping some Battle Furies. For the Fallen for 1. Is this dude's draw just this bad? Ugh, these invokes are not what a brother's really looking for.
The mountain knows me.
I
I
mean,
am
we're
a traveler.
outvaluing this Lux. I mean, what can we ask for? I guess, I mean, he's trying to play 2 Ezreals with Luxheimer, which is mind-blowing to me, but it's incredibly hard to try to outvalue this kind of tech. So what do we think about trying to Battle Fury here? He's not real close to flipping. Don't really care about any of these units. Okay, we probably need to save it to try to get a lethal with.
I've always been a fun guy.
Drawing all these cards into these puff caps is not appealing. Not gonna lie, it's not the best feeling in the world.
Unseen, unheard.
Smell that, Varg? Fear.
Here come the big boys after we play our spells.
Nice to meet you. Ha!
Oh, we have Battle Fury. that's the answer to everything, right? Well, we got Battle Fury.
For truth. Look within.
Face me.
Would a mushroom help?
See if we can't get this overwhelm play happening next turn.
Bastards!
You could play Heimer here, which is kind of scary, but at least if we can overwhelm with Trundle or something.
There was a little fella
It's gonna
asking
be
for me.
all in on the puff caps. Damn.
But I'm king.
Well, still, it's not the worst spot I've ever been in.
Runaway bike!
This is tough. I don't want to be drawing the cards off of this Stalking Shadows, but
Sisters.
feels like we're running out of cards as well. All right, let's see how fast we can close this out. I think our opponent has turned the corner on us. We really need to draw a star shaping if we're going to be expected to win this game.
Have a mushroom. Have 3.
Embrace the night. The moon is
It was a delayed animation. I was like, I knew I played it first. I knew I played a unit first. I really needed you to be a 3/3. Okay. Okay. Now, do we want to just replace the pillar? Probably not.
no more lies. Face your heretic.
My spirit shines.
I'm a peddler, not a meddler.
Oh man, that's never good. That's never good. That's not what you want to see.
There they go.
Alright. I guess that makes sense if he's going to lose all his peddlers to play his last spell. Alright. Gotta take 2 damage. Then we're going to draw a star shaping. And then everything's going to be okay.
And here's where I'd paint my constellation.
Let's see. Called the shot. Nope. Oh. Oh, damn. Okay. Alrighty. Good game, friend.
The Lunari will not.
So yeah, I mean,
live
this
in
deck
fear.
it came together. there were cards in it. It didn't. Let's say continue, and it should pull up the LOR Guardian. It didn't quite come together how I envisioned. I don't think like throughout the entirety of the run we saw a single Doom Beast, and I don't. And we did see like a handful of unspeakable horrors that we just passed on, and so it was kind of awkward. Like, you know, we had this ideal that with up here with like pick 3 is really what shaped this run into what it was. I don't like how it turned out, but I'm glad we did it. You know, if we want to, you know, stop and think like, okay, what's the idea with this run? We're in this Diana. She has all of these really good early game cards and nothing else. We take Thresh for two reasons. Number one, it puts us in Shadow Isles for the other Nightfalls, because we're planning on building around Diana. And then it does have access to removal spells. And so, we're starting with Warden's Prey, which is okay in this deck, Withering Wail, which is okay in this deck for clearing out our opponent's value blocks. But we're really just picking this up for trying to spike Vengeances and then trying to hit Doom Beasts, Fearsome Dogs, and Unspeakable Horrors. And so, even thinking that, I know for a fact we didn't see Fearsome Dogs. I love me a Fearsome Dog. And so, this pick didn't pan out quite as well as one of us could have hoped. If you would have told me at the beginning that you're going to see 0 of the 2 Fearsome units and you're going to see like a handful of Unspeakable Horrors, then I wouldn't have fucked with it. I just wouldn't have picked Shadow Isles. But I guess that also to a degree, the thing kind of messing with that was our pick 3 here. And this pick 3 is what really defined what we wanted to be doing with this run. Or as if you're kind of familiar with the concept of the people call it, and I take to calling it Nightfall Control, but the way it tends to go is you just have all of these early game Nightfall units. All of these units we call it with Diana, the Gift Givers, the Sketchers, the Dust Petal Makers, then Diana, the Elusive, and then the Overwhelmed dude. You just have all of these really high-powered early game units. You try to take over the early game, and then you're just going to close out with a like a Nightfall Dragon, or you're going to close out with something off of an Invoke. You're trying to just chunk your opponent down to like 6 and find that one card to close out the game. The real big way to close out the game here is Battle Fury. That's why it was pretty cool to pick this up, because it just plays to all the themes that we're trying to do. If we attack our opponent down to like 6, and then Battle Fury the guy that gets left over, or sometimes you attack your opponent down to 10, and then you Battle Fury your elusive guy, and then they have a shitload of cards to get out of it. That's fine, but Battle Fury really plays to the strengths of what we're trying to do here. And then I thought the Wolfrider was also a pretty interesting addition, right? Since we're doing all this early game attacking, it should be pretty easy for us to smash a Plunder, whether or not it's from the 2-drop Elusive or the 3-drop Overwhelm, and then just get big advantage out of this thing. But at the core of its deck, this was not good. This was not a good card. We just never really found places where we wanted to get this Wolfrider on board for the Plunder. We had every time drawing it on the odds was horrible, because we didn't want to just be playing it on turn 5. And then on the evens, it wasn't even that good. We didn't have too many turns to where we were able to pull off our strategy. I mean, maybe if we would have found 3 or 4 Shadestalkers instead of 2, and then if we would have found 2 or 3 Crescent Guardians instead of 1, maybe I'd be singing a different story when it's a lot easier to activate this guy. But I was supremely unimpressed with Wolfrider, and that was just kind of like the extent. This was like the core build around of our deck, and I just didn't like it. And so kind of awkward. I'm glad that we got to get this run together, but in the end, I was not real impressed with this. Stick to stick to Bilgewater to catch your plunders with Wolfrider, because I don't like how this panned out with Diana. And so for this specific deck, I guess I could say, don't draft Freylord. Don't try to draft Plunder Wolfriders inside of your aggro Diana deck. It just didn't pan out how I would have ever wanted it to. Put a lot of bloat in our picks as well, as you're seeing things down here like the cards we traded out, Ember Stones, Ember Maiden, Feral Mystic. I knew there was another one. The Feral Mystic we had to get rid of. Bloodsword Pledge is fairly mediocre. Just the Freylord didn't add a whole lot to this deck. So typically what I recommend for you in the future, you're drafting your Diana, really, however you want to go about your draft. I want your big takeaway to be that the big thing that Diana is good at is the 1, 2, and 3 drops. She has 1 interactive card in Pale Cascade. And so whenever you're drafting Diana, you're planning on building around Diana, ask yourself, what can I do to take advantage of this? You may find yourself saying, okay, I have all of these early game units. That plays really well to Wolfrider. Let's go with that. And that's fine. I love hearing when people have a strategy that sounds good in concept but doesn't work out in practice. That's exactly what happened here, and that's completely valid. Somebody's got to go out there and try it. Maybe this would have been the best deck in the world, and we would have never known if we never tried. Turns out it's not the best deck in the world, and that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, whenever you're with Diana, stop, take a moment, think, What am I going to do if my deck is like 80% 1/2s and 3-drops? Like, what do I want this deck to look like? How can I close out these games? What's my path to victory after I flood the board with all of these units and my opponent's units get better? That's kind of the give and take that happens with Diana. And what this tends to be is we play this really, really, really aggressive curve. The only expensive cards that we're really looking for are Sunburst. We're looking for Nightfall Dragon. We're cool with one Rummel if nothing else really makes an appearance. And that's it. We don't want to be playing expensive cards. We want our expensive cards to come out of Linari Priestess, Solari Priestess, Behold the Infinites, whatever it takes out of your invokes. That's what your expensive card should be. But that's going to do it for this run. Unfortunately, we fell a little bit short of our 4th 7 winner in a row, but we'll just have to be content with 4 final battles in a row, I guess. It's not that terrible. We had a good time with this run. I enjoyed this one. This was some good Runeterra. But not an exciting set of rewards. If you hear the further rewards, check out all these shards we just got. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. But that is going to do it for our run today. Hope you all enjoyed the run. You learned how to play Diana a little bit better. You learned that Wolfrider may not be as good as it looks in the theory craft. But that's going to do it for us today. Thank you guys for being here. This is Bust.